Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Greetings from beautiful Bogota, Colombia, South America. Now, this video is about lifting the conditions on a 2-year green card. So you went through the K1 process, you got a K1 visa approved, your fiance came to the United States, and you got married within 90 days. Then you filed for an adjustment of status with USCIS, and then your fiance got her or his green card in the mail, and it's only good for 2 years. Okay? It's a 2-year green card through marriage to a US citizen. Now, your fiance becomes a conditional resident of the United States. Conditional. Now, while the rights and privileges of a conditional resident are very similar to a lawful permanent resident of the United States, which is a 10-year green card holder, the status is very different, okay? Renewing your green card after 2 years requires careful consideration. In fact, you're not really renewing your green card. You are processing a document that turns you into a permanent resident. So the 2-year green card is just conditional. So if your marriage is less than 2 years old and your residency was granted to your fiance after the marriage to the American citizen, your conditional residency expires in 2 years. Now, in 1986, Congress passed a law which said when you come to this country, through marriage, you're given a 2-year conditional green card. And this is another stepping stone to prevent visa fraud. Okay? U.S. Congress has always been concerned about immigration fraud, visa fraud, so they created this 2-year conditional green card. So now you've been married for 1 year and 9 months because it is at this point you need to lift the conditions from this 2-year green card into a 10-year green card. And it's important that you understand the process so that your fiance, so that your husband and wife now becomes a permanent resident of the United States. Once the conditions are removed, the conditional resident becomes a permanent resident, and you get that 10-year green card. Now, what's the process? To convert your conditional status, you need to file form, the couple, the man and the wife, need to file form USCIS form I-751, which is the petition to remove the conditions on residency, along with several other documents which I'll list at the end of the video. And then you pay a fee to USCIS because nothing is free in this world. You have to pay the immigration officer to do the paperwork and do the legwork. Okay? So you're going to file form I-751. If you do not lift the conditions off this 2-year green card within 3 months of your wife's or husband's green card expiring, your husband or wife will receive a letter from immigration and say you're being processed for removal from the United States. They will deport you. So if you plan on staying in the United States, you better do this exactly as immigration tells you to do it. So you're going to fill out form I-751, petition to remove conditions on residency. You're going to include a copy of your current 2-year green card, front and back, your 2-year conditional green card. You're going to have a check. You're going to write a check to USCIS, and I'll put the cost right up here. And then you're going to have a ton of evidence of your marital relationship from the last 2 years. Okay? So immigration want to know exactly just how strong is this marriage? Is it real? Is it fraud? Is this person just waiting out the 2 years to get the 10-year green card and then poof, vamos? No. So Congress created this 2-year condition. You got to provide evidence to immigration of a bona fide marriage, and you submit this lifting conditions form 3 months to when your 2-year green card expires. So at the 1 year, 9 month mark, that's when you can submit it. Not at the 1 year, 8 month mark. It has to be within that 3 month window of time when that 2-year green card expires. If you file early, it will be rejected and you lose your money. If you file late, there's a possibility your fiance could be deported, or your husband or wife could be deported. So it's very important to understand that removing the conditions is very important. It's not just simply filling out a form. And the supporting documentation must be submitted with this lifting of conditions, okay, for the success of the process. So you must prove a good, faithful, real marriage, okay? You got to have, here's what I would do. Make sure that your wife or husband is on the title to your car, the deed to your house, or the lease to your apartment. I cannot express enough how important it is to prove that this marriage is real. Okay? You could have a child during this 2-year period with your fiance or with your new wife. Okay? Submit photocopies of birth certificates of any children that are born into this marriage. Having children is not a requirement. USCIS does not require you to have kids, okay, for a valid marriage, but it is good evidence that a couple has started a life together in the United States with intentions of staying together. Joint ownership, occupancy of a home or real estate. If you own property together, make copies of the deed showing both owners' names and other relevant real estate information. For example, closing papers, purchase contracts, mortgage agreements, account statements, property tax bills. So when you pay your property taxes on your house every November, in Florida every November, make sure your wife or husband is on the property tax statement and any other relevant documents. Financial records. Submit documents that show that you are buying things together, let's say for a car or appliances or furniture. You've taken out a loan together. You show equity in an account. Joint savings and checking accounts. Her name, his name, your name. Everybody's included on the checking account and the savings account with a transaction history for 2 years. For the 1 year and 9 months that you've been married. Put her name on your credit card. Get her a credit card. You're responsible for it, okay? But get her a credit card. Help her establish his or her credit. Tax returns. When you fill out your taxes every April or whenever you do your taxes, make sure that you file jointly. Joint ownership in car loans is also important. Insurance policies, okay? So you've put her on your life insurance. She's on your car insurance, or he. Health insurance. Now I'm retired military, so I have TRICARE. Okay, so my wife's name will be on my TRICARE health insurance, dental plan, auto insurance, life insurance. It's things like that. Travel records. So you've been married for 1 year and 9 months, and you've taken vacations together. You flew here, you flew there, you went to see Grandma in Tennessee, or whatever you did. Keep copies of the boarding passes and the receipts and the hotel receipts, okay? Provide evidence of traveling together within the United States. I do not recommend leaving the United States, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, during this 2-year period. But travel records are very helpful to demonstrate that you vacation together, especially if you've traveled to the other spouse's home to meet and spend time with family, okay? Airplane tickets, train tickets, bus tickets, reservations, boarding passes, hotel reservations. Keep everything, ladies and gentlemen. And photographs are very important. Submit 20 to 30 photographs of you together as a married couple. Wedding photos are an example. Special events with family and friends, critical to this. Handwrite the names of the people that you were with, the places that you were at, and the dates of when you were there. Photos become very strong, compelling evidence, and they help establish that you are living your life together, especially when you attend family functions, religious events, schools, etc. Put your new husband or wife into college if they don't have a degree already. Okay? Also, affidavits from family members and friends also back up your bona fide marriage. Okay? Supply affidavits, sworn statements by people who have known both of you since your conditional residency was granted. Okay? This is strong evidence that the immigration folks want to see. How many documents do you need? Okay, my recommendation is load up your package with everything you can possibly get your hands on. Receipts, travel documents, photographs. There is never too little. Okay? It's better to provide overwhelming evidence that you have a bona fide marriage than to put in a weak, piddly little package with nothing hardly in it, and immigration is going to look at it and say, okay, I don't like this. And they're going to ask you to come in for an interview, I'm sure. So that's it. Immigration want to make sure that you have entered into this relationship with good faith, that the person that came to the United States from a foreign country is here because they want to be with you, not the green card. And file the paperwork and then get your wife or husband's 10-year green card, which means your wife and husband have been here almost 2 years. After 3 years, if your wife or husband is married to a U.S. citizen, you can apply for U.S. citizenship, which I recommend you do. If you move to this country, the United States of America, with an intent of marrying an American and living here, then become an American. Learn the history of this country. Learn the politics of this country. Learn about, the states. Learn about the flag. Learn about presidents. Who was our first president? Become an American citizen. And then assimilate into this beautiful country, the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a basic process. This is a basic video on how to lift the conditions on your green card, which is 2 years. When you first get married, it's a 2-year green card, which means you're here as a guest conditionally for 2 years. And after 2 years, immigration decides that you are in a strong, real relationship, marriage. They give you a 10-year green card. Well, they don't give it to you. You got to pay for it. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the United States and Colombia.